All right. What's up, co-counsels? I need to take this off. Hold on. I need to take Shannon Sharp down. Hope you guys had a good day. Let me just take Shannon Sharp. No, I don't want to delete it. I just want to take it down. All right. I hope you guys had a fantastic week so far. We're about to finish up. I'm getting distracted. All right, let's pick up. I wanted to pick up with Queso's father's cross-examination. Before we get into that, let's watch the verdict, okay? I watched a little bit. I watched the first verdict this morning. You know, there's a lot going on. There's a lot going on. In any event, so what's up, Benji? So this morning, I had was a core TV. I don't remember. I had something on. I cannot find. Hold on. Trying to do too many things at the same time. Okay, there we go. I was trying to find which page to share this to because I have to share my screen. Can no longer. I think this is it. All right. In any event, part of the verdict, not even part. The verdict is out. All right. Scoot or Scotty or whatever his name is. I was actually watching that while I was at work. Right. What happened was the judge gave the jurors the charge and they returned a verdict within it was under an hour. I believe it was under an hour. um it had to have been under an hour. When I heard that the jurors had reached a verdict, it was very clear to me that it was a guilty verdict. Okay. As for Hakeem Queso, I did not watch that. I don't know what I was doing. I was working. Let's see if we can find the footage for that. Queso verdict. I'm sorry, I ruined it for you. I ruined it for you, Benji. No, that's not gonna work. No. We have to watch the whole thing. We won't have time to watch the whole thing, but hold on. Let's go to the actual live stream. I want to see how much time lapses. Okay, so whoa, dang! If it's only 3 hours, no, that's Scotty. That's Scotty. What, they did not have a feed? Hold on. Here.
To either watch any videos or hear any calls with discs that have been moved.
Because the judge was giving the charge to the second jury.
But I wouldn't know at what point.
There are two juries in this trial, which I actually like because they're two different defendants. Because if a single jury was charged, I've actually not seen this done. I suppose that's how they do it out there in Jacksonville. When there are a number of co-defendants, what I've seen happen is separate trials. Okay, I've seen separate trials. I've not seen a joint trial with a number of co-defendants. Even the YSL trial, they literally had one jury determine the fate of, I don't even remember how many people were initially on trial, 5 or 6 or 7 people. That's similar to what I've seen, but this practice of having two separate juries, I've never seen in my life, but I actually do like it.
Time and then trying to get them back from different parts around.
Okay, I watched this. My volume was low, so let's hear it in person. So the volume is going to be low on this because they were not using microphones. There were concerns about the second jury hearing the verdict and potentially being influenced. And I liked this judge. I think isn't her name Salvador or something along those lines. Listen, she from what I've observed, the little that I've observed, she has great command of her courtroom, which I like. And she also has great command of the rules of evidence.
court finds that there are no errors or omissions in the filling out of the verdict forms. Madam Clerk, can you please publish each verdict?
I cannot hear any of this because my volume was low. Otherwise, people are going to wonder what's wrong with her. She's always listening to people on trial for murder. Something's wrong with that girl. So, hold on, that's too low. Can we captions? Yeah, they cannot hear that either. Yeah, I cannot hear her. Hold on. Sounds like they have aliens in the background. I cannot hear the rest of that. Can't make it out. All right, let's move over here. I thought they had a longer. It was a longer. Have I believe the jurors had a question. I didn't watch, but I heard.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, you may take your seats.
Okay.
And ma'am, juror number 3, are you the foreperson? And has this jury reached a verdict? Can you please hand the verdict form to the bailiff?
Okay. I'm about to sneeze. About to sneeze.
All right, the court finds that there are no errors or omissions in the filling out of the verdict form. Madam Clerk, can you please publish the verdict?
How many clerks do they have?
In the Circuit of the Fourth Judicial Circuit in and for Duval County, Florida, case number 16, 2020, CF 3601B, Division CRE. State of Florida versus Hakeem Robinson, verdict as to count 1, with the jury found the defendant guilty of first-degree murder as charged in the
Dang, the
indictment.
defense is don't hang your head now. I mean, he did ask very stupid questions, at least of the father. His cross examination was weak. All right, hold on.
1B, Division CRE. State of Florida versus Hakeem Robinson, verdict as to count 1, with the jury found the defendant guilty of first-degree murder as charged in the indictment. So say we all, done, Jacksonville, Duval County, Florida, signed by the foreperson on July 31st, 2025.
Yeah.
Does counsel for either the state or defense desire the jury to be polled?
Horace.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, Madam Clerk, if you can please poll each juror.
Juror 1, is this your true and correct verdict? Juror 2, is this your true and correct verdict? Juror 3, is this your true and correct verdict?
Yes.
Juror 4, is this your true and correct verdict?
Yes.
Juror 5, is this your true and correct verdict? Juror 6, is this your true and correct verdict?
Go on.
Juror 7, is this your true and correct verdict? Juror 8, is this your true and correct verdict?
Yes.
Juror 9, is this your true and correct verdict? Juror 10, is this your true and correct verdict? Juror 11, is this your true and correct verdict? Juror 12, is this your true and correct verdict? Thank you.
All right.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I wish to thank you for your time and your consideration of this case. I also wish to advise you of some very special privileges to be enjoyed by jurors. No juror can ever be required to talk about the discussions that occurred in that jury room except by court order. For many centuries, our society has relied upon juries for the consideration of difficult cases. And we have recognized for hundreds of years that a jury's deliberations, their discussions, and their votes should remain their private affair as long as they wish it. Therefore, the
Weird, some frequency background.
law gives you this unique privilege not to speak about the jury's work. Although you are now at liberty to speak with anyone about your deliberations, you are also at liberty to refuse to speak to anyone. A request to discuss either your verdict or your deliberations may come from those who are simply curious, or from those who might seek to find fault with you, or from the media, from the attorneys, or elsewhere. So it will be up to you to decide whether.
Before I got up here, I was editing another Shannon Sharp video. Hopefully, I get to finish editing that video and posting it or having it scheduled for tomorrow morning. Hopefully, I'll be done.
To preserve your privacy as a juror. And with the rendering of this verdict, ladies and gentlemen, your service in this courtroom of admonitions or listen to those prohibitions are now lifted to you. Speakers, Minister of Justice, to lethal.
All right, you're done.
If you will present your through the other courtroom, of course they need to cross.
I listened to Queso's. I listened to the closing. I listened to the closing this morning. I was not exactly swayed, but I don't know that the father's testimony was, the final nail in the coffin. Um, we're gonna have to let me get out of this. We're gonna have to watch this testimony, okay? I believe this is Butter or whatever his name is. I believe that this was possibly the most crucial testimony to the prosecution's case.
Over and exit.
And as I said, the father, everybody should have known, okay? Everybody should have known his history because apparently the father was a professional snitch. All right. So they all should have been aware of this. The baby mamas, the children, everybody at the grocery store, anybody dealing with him. And when we covered this on Tuesday, I said the father was credible to me. All right. I did not see much of a change in his demeanor between the prosecution and the defense. He did not appear to be lying to me. He was credible. All right. And apparently the jurors thought the same too.
Through the other door, but until and before they do come out, counsel, if you will present your client before the bench.
Okay. Yeah, a lot of people have been getting convicted this week. And that's just usually how criminal cases go.
All right, Mr. Robinson, based on the verdict of the jury finding you guilty of the offense charged in the indictment in case number 2020 CF 3601, the court does hereby remand you to the custody of the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office, and your bond in this matter shall be revoked. Now, he is entitled to a pre-sentence investigation report. Is that correct? Okay, then I will be sure to order one. Again, that takes approximately 30 days to complete. So we'll need to come back for sentencing no earlier than 30 days. When would the parties wish to return? I have the week of August 25 or September 2 for sentencing to be set. The same week as Mr. Whitaker? Okay. Are you all available to return the week of September 8th? Keep in mind, Monday would be a to-be-set date, and we would set the sentencing on a convenient day that week for all parties involved.
Yeah, good coverage.
Okay. And on the 8th, you all are free to appear via Zoom. That's just a scheduling date. That won't be the sentencing date. We'll pick a date on the 8th. All right. Then we'll pass Mr. Robinson's case to September 8th for sentencing to be set. All right. Thank you.
All right. Hold on. He's shaking his head and
all right. Thank you.
Listen, I'm not a huge fan of plea bargaining because oftentimes the defendant is on the losing end. But under these circumstances, with everybody testifying against you, you might as well be the one doing the testifying. I'm sorry. I hate to be this person, but I'm a self-preservationist. I'm with Queso's father on this one. If everybody's flipping, you better do the flipping. All right. You just I don't know. He's incredibly young. Really, really young. Lawyer should have at least given him a pat on the back or something. Okay.
All right, everyone is excused and free to go.
So why is there still more?
I'll wait for the jury to leave.
All right. What angle is this? Cheers. I guess clean is never both red. I just want to see the reaction. That's it. Oh, I think this is when the verdict was read. And the lawyer looks more disappointed than he does. Man, kept it down the shoulder or something. Insulted him or something. That it? Crazy.
Are you so you can hear? I'm not sure if it's up to date, but I hear something.
Oh, hold on. So I think that's
It's up to date, but I are you so you can hear? I'm not sure if it's up to date, but I hear something.
damn.
Is it done?
Oh no, you should have done the flipping. That's just how I feel. Apparently, you know you're cooked when your lawyer closes his eyes. They're just no. Everybody was flipping, so not I'd have flipped too. I'm just saying.
I think it's done.
Again, obviously, we did not follow this trial from top to bottom. Did not follow the case from top to bottom, but as the father was testifying, I could put some pieces together, figure out what was going on. The father was credible. That's the thing. The father was really, really credible. He was really credible, and it sounds like everybody was flipping. So under those circumstances, flip. Okay, that I'm a self-preservationist, so I'm not
Yeah, they might have
lie about
And
it.
then right.
I gotta hit down.
And
Right.
real reaction.
I think it's done.
Yeah, they might have
And then right.
I gotta hit down.
Doesn't sound like he was well prepared. What I mean by that is when co-defendants are pointing the finger at each other, it's not good. It is not good. This is not an instance of what is this? A Lil Woody getting on the stand claiming amnesia, or who are the other people? There have been some ill-prepared witnesses in some of these cases that we've watched. But here, everybody was just, they were flipping. They were flipping. They were solid. Cross-examination, at least as far as I've seen, did not do much, was not very effective. Because I was thinking about this case this morning. I was thinking about some of the questions that were being asked. There's a female attorney. Again, I don't know these people's names because we're just tuning in. And her questions focused on statements that her client, not even statements that the client made. Her cross-examination, she was basically just confirming that I'm going back to the cross-examination of Big, what's his name? What's his name? Robinson. What's the father's name? Last name Robinson. Abdul. Going back to the cross-examination of Big Abdul. And I believe it's the attorney that represents Scotty. Okay. Her questions, some of the questions she asked, I actually liked, but a lot of her focus was on the absence of statements made or not made by her client. Her questions were along the lines of, you did not hear my client say this. My client did not admit to XYZ. Uh, when I was thinking about it this morning, and that's even before I went to work, is because I wondered if she had missed the mark. What I mean by that is sometimes during cross examination, attorneys focus on what was not said and what's not there as opposed to the evidence that was in fact presented. Okay, so I wondered if she should have focused on I mean, Big Abdul was solid though. People may not like the fact that he testified against his son, but he was solid. Maybe she just had no real angles of cross-examination. Hmm. I don't know, can you pat your guy or something? Can you pat your client? Can you do something?
Okay, look, I'm serious.
This was good. You can't hear anything, but please make eye contact. Do something. They cannot believe it. He is in disbelief. Reality just sank in. How did they get that footage though? That's a real question. Judge tells, I don't know. I'm getting distracted. Let's not do that. Let us not do that. Somebody said he rethinking what that whole day and the rest of his life now. I just mm, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Let's quickly watch. This was recommended to. No, girl, move on. I'm getting distracted. I'm getting distracted, Benji. All right, let me remove this. Let's actually do what we're supposed to be doing, okay? All right, let us pick up from Tuesday. And again, I'm highly interested in their cross examination. Not that it makes a difference, but you guys know me by now. I go to, I tune into older cases and I'm interested. But I was really hooked. I was hooked by this cross examination, the direct, and I actually did not want to go to bed, but I had to go to bed.
Your reliable
Let's pick
hitman.
up.
That's good.
Okay.
Right? Keem has neither.
Right. I have been one.
All right. And physically on the streets, but you are a street guy, right?
I have been one.
All right. And the marks of that are on you. You have bullet holes, right?
Yes.
You have tattoos, right?
I said it when we listened to this on Tuesday. I told you guys this is some dumb ass cross examination. Really dumb cross examination.
Yes.
Keem has neither.
Right.
Not a single tattoo in his body,
What does that mean?
right?
Right.
Never been shot.
That's good.
Now, let's get back to Barner, your reliable hitman. In the Rothermill case, it's Blue. That's you, right?
Yes.
Now, you also go by OG, too, right?
That's what I said. This man was answering questions left, right, center, affirmative. Okay.
Okay.
Not
So it's
playing
Blue,
games.
Butter, right? Dominique Barner,
Yeah.
and Chris Brown, right?
Yes.
That's the trio. Blue, Butter, Brown. In the Rothermill case, right? Right?
Yeah.
Now, Chris Brown,
Wait.
his nickname
Butter is in the Rothermill case as well. Isn't it too young to be hanging out with these people?
is Crazy Chris.
Right.
I know somebody surviving.
You know Chris Brown, obviously.
Yes.
State. All right. Your Honor, may I approach?
Yes.
All right, Mr. Robinson. I'm showing you it's been pre-marked. It's defense 1. You know what that is, right?
Yes.
That's a picture of Chris Brown.
Right.
And you know that's a picture of Chris Brown because you committed crimes with him.
No.
You're denying that you committed crimes with him on the Rothschild case?
Yes, I'm denying.
Okay, just a moment. When there's an objection, I have to rule. What's the objection?
I withdraw based on the way it was been phrased.
Okay. Go ahead. Ask the question.
Chris Brown is a co-defendant on the Rothschild case, right?
Right.
And you pled guilty on that case.
Yes.
Now, this photo fairly and accurately depicts what Chris Brown looked like in January of
Yeah,
2020.
Chris Brown in court.
Yes.
Defense offers which were pre-marked as defense 1.
Okay, so any objection
Hey,
from the
what's
state?
the-
Any objection?
I need to know what's the significance of Chris Brown's identity. I don't get this line of cross-examination. What point is it trying to make? And we've gone over this. We've gone over the substance of cross-examination or the goal of cross-examination over and over again. From a defense perspective, you're either trying to undermine the credibility of the witness or you are trying to prove, you don't have to prove anything, okay? Let me rephrase that. From a defense perspective, you're either trying to undermine a witness's credibility or you're trying to sow reasonable doubt. He's not delivering. I don't know what this defense attorney is doing. I really don't.
Objection from Mr. Whitaker. Okay, then defense exhibit will be marked into evidence as defendant Robinson's number 1.
Okay.
That's Chris Brown, right?
All right. So what are you getting
Can you
at?
see the monitor?
His monitor is not on.
Published all. Mike taught me better.
Well, it's off everywhere now.
There we go. Now, there we go. It takes a minute.
Okay.
That's Chris Brown, right?
Yes.
Butter pecan skin,
What?
right?
What the hell?
Yes.
Butter pecan skin.
Are those
Right.
people?
Yes.
Not Hakeem.
No.
Okay, so there's a butter, there's a pecan. Some people say pecan, and skin. Okay.
Dreads down to his chin, right?
So what?
No.
What on earth?
He's got dreads, no?
Yes.
Some of that hair goes
Unless the defense is trying to convince the jurors, I don't get. I wanted to say maybe as far as identity, trying to make it seem because his client has dreadlocks. Unless he's trying to say that this crime was committed by somebody else, or he wants the jurors to believe that the crime was committed by somebody else with dreadlocks, I just don't understand this line of questioning.
down to his chin.
Somebody hair on his chin?
Down to his chin.
Yeah, he got hair on his chin.
All right. Now, Chris Brown's right around 6 feet, maybe a little bit under.
He
Right.
might, yeah, he might be about 6 feet, a little bit on.
He's a skinny guy too, right?
Yes.
He's also best friends with Butter.
Yes.
Crazy Chris Brown.
I just one moment. So I'm going back to a few questions. The cross-examination, just a few questions. The defense attorney had asked, not really asked, he pretty much insinuated that Big Abdul was committing crimes with Chris Brown. And Big Abdul said, no, I was not committing crimes with Chris Brown. And then, the prosecution objects. Defense rephrases the question to basically say that Chris Brown and Big Abdul are co-defendants, okay? So what struck me is that Big Abdul was prepared to implicate his son. I guess maybe the son did do it. I don't know. I wasn't there. But as far as Chris Brown is concerned, he was not going to implicate Chris Brown in anything.
And butter Dominique Barner. Right?
Right.
Now, Dominique Barner, he lives that life too, right?
What
He's
do you
got
mean by
wounds, he's
that?
got tattoos.
Yes.
He doesn't have a future in the entertainment industry.
I don't like the way this man has been cross-examining. I said that on Tuesday already. I don't like the way he cross-examines.
No.
None of them do.
No.
Okay, what does that have to do? Okay, he has tattoos, he has what, bullet holes or scars or whatever. No future in the entertainment industry. What does that have to do with anything?
Yeah.
How does that help your client? I suppose that's the part that I'm missing.
Let's talk about work.
Okay.
Been out of custody since, roughly 2009, July 2009. You get out of custody on that federal case.
Yes.
In your life, you have never filed taxes, right?
No.
Judge relevant.
Yes, sustained.
You're about to say he's a big time drug dealer.
Never received a paycheck from a legitimate job.
Yes.
Now, the House of Pain, you're in.
This man, he does not try, he's not hiding. Okay. Big Abdul, he's just answering questions. He's ready to be released in 2026. He's doing his part, and he's throwing whoever is around him under the bus.
Instagram handle is HOP CEO, right?
Right.
That stands for House of Pain CEO.
Yes.
That's yours from back in the 90s, right?
Right.
When House of Pain, that's my era, when House of Pain was big. Right?
Right.
That's not Hakeem's era.
No.
Okay, what are you saying?
Now, you had shirts that were put together, right?
Yes.
You even have like drawings where you tried to draw out the crest for House of Pain.
Yes.
And you were hoping to build that into something legitimate, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Legitimate. The emblem, correct me if I'm wrong, is an axe on the right side, right?
What a gang
What?
symbol?
Do you remember the logo that you drew?
No.
To refresh your recollection, to take a look at what you drew?
Yeah.
Brief moment, Your Honor.
So Benji said that man threw his life away. It was just it's incredibly sad. It's sad.
Take a look at that. You know if that refreshes your recollection.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
All right, so the House of Pain logo that you created, it's got a house with bullet holes in it, right?
Yeah.
Below that, stacks of money.
I need
Right.
A microphone.
Under relevance.
Yeah, how is this relevant?
Your Honor, do you want me to go sidebar and explain?
No,
no.
I'm going to sustain.
Okay.
Yeah, I just defense attorney. I have no idea what you're doing. I don't get it. I just don't get it.
The House of Pain email that the government has talked so much about today, that's also yours, right?
No.
So House of Pain and everything about it is yours except the email address.
Yeah, I can't remember making no email address for House of Pain.
When the police searched your house and the
That's
U-Haul truck that was out there, they found T-shirts for House of Pain. They found other swag that you
point.
had made and these drawings for House of Pain, right?
I don't know. I wasn't there.
And again, your Instagram handle is HOP CEO.
Yes.
All right.
All right, well, what
Now.
are you getting at?
Let's talk about Hakeem Robinson.
Okay.
Hakeem is 6'2", 6'3". Your words?
Yes.
Well over 200 pounds?
Yeah.
230, 240?
About 2:30.
In 2019, an opportunity came his way, right?
Yeah.
He was close friends with another rapper by the name of Young and Ace, right?
Correct.
He's known Ace for a long time.
Hold on, I'm getting distracted. You guys know that the track and field U.S. trials are going on right now. I think I just read something.
Ace has gotten,
Wait, what happened?
he's known Ace for a long time.
Correct.
Ace has gotten hugely big over the years, right?
Correct.
Now, at the time, Ace was signed by Cinematic, right?
Correct.
And at that time, Hakeem was lucky enough to get connected with Johnny Shipes, right?
Correct.
Now, this is the same guy that found Nipsey Hussle in California, right?
Correct.
Joey Badass,
Dang, I like Joe.
right?
Yeah.
T-Pain.
Yep.
So this wasn't a small deal. This wasn't Charles McCormick's song that's out there. He had a legitimate record deal.
Right.
Now, we know from Charles McCormick that people in this diss rap and this drill rap, they will rap about things that they weren't involved in, right?
Correct.
Because you said Charles McCormick was not involved in this.
Correct.
Now, you also agree that drill rap, the type rap like the video, Bang It Out, that sells, right?
Yes.
And I asked you, and I think I asked you, and it was a couple years back, sells a lot better than happy rap, like Will Smith rap,
Right.
right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Will Smith.
Now, you had hopes prior to manage Ace, right?
Yes.
But he didn't take you along.
No, he already had a manager.
And then your son gets signed in 2019, right?
Right.
He's off in California shooting a music video in December, right?
I can't remember.
He didn't bring you along either.
That ain't true.
Okay, so this is, I suppose, this is probably the first good question that the defense attorney has asked. He's basically saying that the father is mad. He's upset. He's upset that, that his son was leaving him and he was taking off and became a star.
True, man. That's not true.
He did not agree to let you manage his career. Or is your testimony that he did? He wanted you to manage it.
Of course.
What?
Of course not. He didn't want you to manage it.
Of course, he did.
Okay.
Yet you weren't with him on any of those trips, right?
I was with him on a lot of trips.
You have no credits on any of his songs.
No, I don't want no credits on this song.
Credit.
Johnny Shipes is the one that is in the records as his manager, right?
I would assume.
Okay.
So let's now talk about the day before the murder. That white car that you already let us know, you drove that white car over to the JSO property facility, right?
Yes.
You remember that?
Yes.
Now let's talk about the motive of others. Your testimony is that Hakeem Robinson, who was not shot, who is not biologically tied to Willie Addison like you, that somehow he had more motive than the other people that were actually shot. Right?
Say that again.
We're talking about the people that would have had a motive to be upset at Charles McCormick. Okay?
Right.
You, Butter and Brown, Blue Butter Brown. I'm going to trip over that if I say it fast. The whole thing about P Money was because you believe that he was behind Willie's murder, right?
Right.
Okay. So now Charles McCormick comes along and he's putting out a song. He's not signed to a record deal, right?
You just ask the questions, please. Just ask the questions.
Right.
His song isn't getting any traction.
Right.
He's nowhere near the level of Queso, Hakeem Robinson, right?
Correct.
But your testimony is that was a motive enough for murder. That's your testimony, right?
It's this song?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. But there's a whole list of people that would be way above him to have the motive to kill Charles McCormick, right?
Right.
You?
Nah.
No?
He said,
No.
nah.
You'd have no motive to kill a guy who's basically laughing about the night that you were shot.
I mean, not me. Shouldn't kill him pro se myself?
What?
You were no motive.
The father said what? The father's talking. Hold on. I need to go back. Uh, the style of questioning is really making my head spin. It's not exactly clear what the defense attorney is getting at. This part is easy to follow. He's basically arguing that other people had a motive to kill Charles, and apparently Queso did not have a motive, or if he did, his motive was not as strong as other people. And now he's implicating Big Abdul, saying that Big Abdul, because he was shot on the night that Willie was killed, he had he should have had more of a motive to kill Charlton. He said, "Nah, that's not him."
Nah.
No?
Nah.
You'd have no motive to kill a guy who's basically laughing about the night that you were shot.
I mean, not me.
Hmm.
Shouldn't kill him pro se myself?
What you say? Hey, who?
I mean, not me. Shouldn't kill him pro se myself?
Look, all I know is this. I'll put this into question. You claim that the phone that's used by the shooter, that's registered in your
Just
name.
ask the
Right.
question.
Oh, excuse me, Daryl Watts. Right?
Right.
And we'll get to that. You allegedly burned the clothes that Butter had on him, right?
It's not a
Correct.
You break through the police perimeter to pick up Leroy Whitaker and Barner, right?
Come on, man. You exaggerating, man. You know it wasn't no police perimeter, none of that. You exaggerating now.
I'm exaggerating that there wasn't drones and helicopters overhead
How would I know that?
because you were driving to the location.
And I would see a drone in the air?
So we'll agree. All right, let's say that
That is solid. Big Abdul is solid.
the JSO, we'll let JSO answer the question whether they had a perimeter and they had hundreds of officers trying to
Yes.
find.
Ask the questions. You have a very simple, and your jump is not that simple, but for this part, ask the questions.
The shooter that was running through neighborhoods.
You really think I would have went through there if I seen all those police and all that? Or a drone and a helicopter and all that? You think I would have went up in there with my car registered in my name?
You don't want me to answer that question. So why don't you stick to answering my questions?
Oh my goodness. These people are making my head making my head spin.
And not asking me them. It's a life you live, right? You live this life in the streets, right?
Nah.
Or wait, are you
And-
telling me that you, as the patriarch of the family, that basically these kids come by and say, "Hey, Blue, go do this"?
They didn't call Leroy Whitaker daddy to go get it. They called me. They didn't. What if they would have called some? I would like to see how they would feel if they would have called somebody else to go pick somebody up. They didn't. They called me. If I would have knew something was going on, I wouldn't have never went.
All right.
Think I'm gonna go over there in my car with my phone?
Yeah, defense attorney to some extent. I don't want to say that he helped. Let me put it this way. This defense attorney did not do anything as far as undermining Big Abdul's credibility, okay? He had very little control over the witness. Not to say that Abdul was belligerent. The defense attorney is not asking good questions. Because he's not asking good questions, this allows Big Abdul to explain things away, and not just explain things away. He is giving more information than I would have wanted to be admitted if I was representing one of the defendants in this case. Um, and the man, he just appears credible.
And knowing something going on, I would like to been, if I would like to been involved in a crime, I'd like to know that I'm involved in a crime. Let me know that, okay, it's a crime happening now. Let me know something. I was in the blind.
So you're a victim in this case, right?
I ain't gonna say I'm a victim, but I would like to know that I'm being involved in something and just ask for a ride.
All right. So then after you know about it, you're then cool with going to burn clothes, right?
Yeah, after I get to know about it, I was cool with that.
Yeah. What's a little bit of a felony? Destruction of evidence.
Yeah.
Whew. This man, I'm sorry. Mr. Abdul is something else. He's something else. He does not lie. He's not minimizing his participation. He's very candid. Benji said happy rap like Will Smith. Yeah, I actually listened to, I don't know, they've been clowning Will Smith a little bit on Reddit lately. Benji said, I think he asked, should I have killed him? Oh, is that the pro se? Because I heard pro se or something. All right, Benji, you be safe out there and enjoy your shift. Thanks for tuning in.
I did it. I like Scotty. I did.
Definitely a bit of a felony, right?
Yeah, after I get to know about it,
It's something else.
All right. So then after you know about it, you're then cool with going to burn clothes, right?
yeah, after I get to know about it, I was cool.
Again, the defense attorney is being argumentative. Being argumentative is not helping him, okay? Because so far, what I've seen, and I've said the same thing on Tuesday, Big Abdul owns up to his conduct. He has some accountability. I know that it's the accountability that the victims of his crimes want or are looking for. Maybe it's not the accountability that society as a whole is interested in, but he is not hiding. Okay. And I like that about him.
Cool with that.
Yeah. What's a little bit of a felony? Destruction of evidence.
Yeah, I did it. I like Scotty. I did.
Definitely know you didn't call 911.
Right.
That conscience only grew later when you were looking at life.
Yeah.
Now let's talk
He
about
does
Daryl.
not lie. If he lies, it's about other things. The man, he is a professional snitch. He's not shying away from the fact that he turned into a state's witness because he's trying to preserve his own life. All right? And you cannot take that away from him.
Watts. There's a bunch of cell phones that are in the name of Daryl Watts, right?
Correct.
And the phone that was used. Now, it's interesting. The government, they asked you about a bunch of phone numbers and you remembered it off the top of your head, right?
Yeah.
But the one that they had to tell you was 478-305-9583.
Objection, Judge.
What's the grounds?
A misstatement.
Okay. I will, of course, the jury will recall the testimony that came out from the witness stand, if you'll just ask the question of the witness.
You were asked about a bunch of phone numbers and you were able to recite them, except for one that they told you and you just agreed, yes. You remember that, right?
Yeah, I remember that.
And that's 478-305-9583, right?
Right.
Now that phone's under your dead friend's name, Daryl Watts, right?
Right.
You paid for that phone, right?
Correct.
And in December, you paid something like $1,000 that you owed on that phone and others.
Right.
So whoever it is that had that phone, the shooter, you supplied it to him.
Oh, I didn't know the shooter had the phone. I didn't know. I mean,
I know
So-
that's a poorly phrased question. The defense attorney is confusing me more than I'd like to be confused.
Daryl Watts was your best friend, right?
yeah.
He was murdered.
Yeah.
To this day, you were not cleared as a suspect in that case.
Objection, Judge.
What the-
Sustained. Mr. DeCoste, just ask questions
I know. I need to go look up Daryl Watts now. They have a lot going on.
please, that are relevant.
An arrest has not been made in the murder of Daryl Watts.
Objection, Judge.
Sustained.
Now,
No, I feel like if he did it, he would have answered. What motive would Big Abdul have had to off his? I don't know anything about these people, but I feel like I'm going down a rabbit hole.
You've also learned that Torgon Williams was involved in the murder of Charles McCormick, right?
He was involved.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
You don't know that?
No.
You were a co-defendant for a while. Your attorney's going to depositions. You don't know the other people that were implicated?
No.
Chris Brown?
In Charles' case?
Yes.
No, I never seen that. No, I don't know that.
Janera Smith?
Who's that?
No.
But none of them have been charged.
Right.
What is he? What's the defense? What is he? I need to find out this defense attorney's name. You can tell he's not a public defender. He does not know how to cross-examine.
Now let's focus on the specific day of January 15th, 2020.
Okay.
Your words, you didn't see Hakeem that entire day.
Correct.
Didn't see him before, right?
Right.
Didn't see him after.
Correct.
Now you said that you were worried about him, right?
Correct.
Well, you have all these phone numbers that you have memorized. You didn't call any of them,
Correct.
but you were concerned.
Yes.
Common sense dictates that if you're concerned about your son and that what you're saying is actually true,
Okay, so what's the defense attorney getting at? Is he trying to argue that the father knew that his son was out committing a crime and that's why he did not call him? I don't get this line of question.
that you would have picked up the phone and called him, but you didn't do that.
Correct. I didn't.
Chifton Hogan. First time we've ever heard it's somebody you're related to.
I'm not related to him.
Okay, but it's somebody that's a couple degrees of separation that's tied to the family, right?
He's my baby, mother, brother.
And you know from this case that he was never charged, right?
Correct.
Yet his DNA is inside of the car.
Which car? You have
Right.
to specify which car are you talking about? Are you talking about Big Abdul's car or are you talking about another vehicle?
I guess.
What kind-
I'm not asking you to guess. I'm saying, do you know about the evidence in the case to which you pled to?
Oh,
Some of it.
All right. Are you aware that Chifton Hogan's DNA is found inside of the car?
Yeah.
So you are sure now.
Yeah.
That would stand for the proposition that DNA can end up inside of a car without somebody ever being in it, right?
I'm not sure.
He would not know that.
So your other son, Abdul Jr., he's not here anymore, right?
Correct.
Your hope,
Oh,
something that has been,
so there we go. Because I was literally, okay, I didn't spend too much time on it, but I was on Google and I was trying to find Abdul Robinson Jr. I was trying to figure out what happened to his case. I found no information. The only information that would maybe if I had real social media, I could have found the answer. I had to delete TikTok, okay? Because it's not my thing. I tried it. I uploaded one video. I just couldn't do it anymore. But okay, that answers my question. I was trying to figure out why there's no mention about small Abdul, why he was not on trial. I could not find any information about whether he pled out or not. So, okay, that answers my question.
I'm not sure.
so your other son, Abdul Jr., he's not here anymore, right?
Correct.
Your hope, something that has been discussed, you're hoping that in exchange for your testimony here today, that his case would be dropped.
Wait,
Right.
when you say he's not here anymore, do you mean he's on the run and he's not deceased? Because when I hear that somebody's not here anymore, to me, it sounds like they're dead. That's what it sounded like to me. So why? That's what it sounds like to me. When somebody, as a prosecutor, okay, when a suspect or defendant died, you nolly pros the case. So I don't know where defense just doesn't know how to ask questions.
No.
You're not hoping for that?
I mean, if it do, it's good. I mean, but I can't say that.
So where's
So you're saying that that's not true, or you're saying it's not, or you're saying you do want your other son to be convicted?
No, I'm not saying I want him to be convicted. I'm not saying that I want him to be convicted. If they drop his case because of what I'm doing, great.
dang, at least it sounds like he's saving one of his children and crucifying the other. That's not fair, though. I cannot say he's crucifying his son. He is in a difficult position. Okay, he's in a difficult position, and here's something. Just now that I'm thinking. All right. So Big Abdul basically said that if he's going to be involved in a crime, he would like to know that he's being involved in a crime. He does not want to, uh, be coaxed into something thinking that he's giving a ride to his son's friends only for him to be implicated in a murder. From that standpoint, I understand him a bit more. What I mean by that is it does not sound like, at least if we are to go by what Abdul or Big Abdul is saying, it sounds could be different. But I would like to believe that he possibly would not be testifying had he been in on the plan from the very beginning, but he was just dragged into this. Or so at least I'm trying to give him some grace.
As long as you're protected, that's the most important thing for you, though.
When you say protected, what you mean?
The same thing that Ms. Schlax asked you. You said, well, if they drop his, well, that would be great. But your number one priority out of all of this is you.
Absolutely.
I think I'm number 2.
Oh, who's number 1?
Sir, you come in here as a 2-time convicted felon. Because of these other cases, you'll be convicted at least 2 more times, right?
Right. Correct.
A lifetime of crime, right?
Okay, this is just, why didn't you follow up, defense attorney? You want him to admit that his primary goal is to save his own behind. And, Big Abdul says no. I am number 2. So who's number 1? Who exactly is he trying to protect overall? I would have liked to know that. It would have been great if he actually followed up. Instead, he just moved on to something else.
Objection, Judge.
4 times, right?
Right. Correct.
A lifetime of crime, right?
Objection, Judge.
Sustained.
You'll be a 4-time convicted felon. You've already spent 10 years in prison and approximately 5 in custody on this,
Correct.
for a total of about 15 years in custody.
Correct. Let's not forget about the 10 years that I was out free and no trouble.
But then you got into trouble again.
Right. I was out free from 2009 to 2020, no trouble.
I understand, but coming in here today and going back to the question, your number one objective is protecting yourself.
Who's
Of course.
There we go.
One brief moment, Your Honor.
Okay.
There we go. My man is a professional. Okay. Come on.
Mr. Robinson, one more thing.
Mm-hmm.
The deal with Cinematic, that occurred right in the...
Okay, so I've criticized this defense attorney enough. I'm gonna give him a brownie. Okay. The brownie is that he did not let up on, Big Abdul's primary goal for testifying. It sounded like he was going to let him go when he said, no, he's number two, not number one. And he went on to ask some questions, but eventually he got, what is this? Big Abdul to admit that his great motivator for testifying is to really cover himself. And again, I believe I said this on Tuesday. Had Big Abdul said otherwise, he would be less credible because it's very obvious. It's very obvious that he's doing this for himself. And for somebody that's in his position, it makes a lot of sense. All right. Everybody else protecting themselves. We're going to have to get into Butter because I'd like to know what Butter's position is. What's Butter's deal?
Months before this murder, right?
Yes.
Basically, right around December, they fly him out to California. He's shooting music videos, but it's right around that time that he inked that deal.
I'm not sure. I don't remember him going out to California, so I can't say.
But you can say that that deal was inked right around that time.
Yes.
Nothing further, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Is there any redirect?
They cannot listen. When the defense attorney pretty much got Beg Abdul to admit that the primary reason for him testifying against his son is in order for him to protect himself. Okay, that was a good point to end on. So defense attorney steps away from the podium or the well, and I don't know if he referenced notes, whispered in somebody's ear, or talked to his client, and the client said, ask about California. This is not a good point to end on. He was on a float, so he just where's Abdul Jr.? That I need to know. Not sure if I'll find that information. I can just look him up.
Yes.
I can look him up on the inmate search.
Mr. Robinson,
Yeah.
that 478-305-9583 number that you were asked about, that was under Darrell Watt's name.
Yes.
Did you give that number to Chris Brown?
No.
You didn't let him use it?
No.
Sure.
Positive.
Now, on I'm going to show you what's in evidence. It states 187. Is that on your screen?
Yeah.
No, this stuff is behind a paywall.
Objection outside of the scope of cross.
I don't have a question.
Judge, I'm going to ask about Chris Brown.
Okay, then that's permissible. So objection overruled. What's
I
up?
was shooting.
No.
What's the question? Wait, what's the question?
So Hakeem.
What's going on?
No.
What?
Oh, he's asked to identify his son.
So Hakeem.
And you indicated a few moments ago that Hakeem's approximately 6'2". Have you ever measured him, or are you just going off what you believe?
No, I never measured.
As he sits here today, Does Hakeem Robinson look the same as he did 5 years ago?
Is he taller, bigger?
No.
Overruled.
Okay, so is he much larger?
What you say?
Does he look different today, Hakeem Robinson, than he did 5 years ago? Has his build changed in any way?
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, he look a little grown, like, you know.
So he was smaller 5 years ago?
Objection, leaving, you strike.
Okay, sustain, just rephrase your question.
You said bigger today?
Yes.
Objection,
All
leaving, you
right.
strike.
Okay. There's no evidence to strike, so I'm not striking. It's because the attorney's questions are not evidence.
Good answer.
Anybody's attorney's questions are not evidence, but rephrase your question without leading.
Judge, sorry, Mr. Robinson, I didn't hear your answer. When I asked you, how does he look different today, what was your response?
He like he grown, gained a little weight.
Now, you were asked a lot of questions about the deal that Hakeem Robinson signed with Cinematic. You remember that?
Yes.
And some questions about him going to California to film a music video.
Yes.
But the Hang It Out video was filmed right here in Jacksonville, right?
Yes.
You were there for that?
Yes.
Now, are you familiar with Robinson Management LLC?
What's that?
Who?
Robinson Management LLC. Does that sound familiar to you?
No.
Were you involved with Hakeem Robinson's cinematic endeavors to be signed?
Yes.
And were you trying to assist him with that and manage him with that?
Yes.
Did you?
Yes.
Were you in fact in communication with people from Cinematic?
Yes.
And were you continuing to aid
All
and
right,
assist
Benji.
Hakeem with that?
I'm glad you made it to work safely.
Yes.
May I approach the witness, Judge?
It also sounds like you actually don't have a long commute.
Yes?
Objection, Your Honor.
What's the objection?
I'll try. May I approach, Judge?
Yes?
When you a document, take a look at it yourself. I'll make you recognize it.
All right, what are you showing him?
Yes.
Part of that agreement with Cinematic Music, were you actually on that contract?
Yes.
How so?
I was his management.
And you signed that form.
Yes.
Did Hakeem Robinson sign it?
Yes.
One moment, Judge.
All right.
No, that's all, Judge. Thank you.
All right, may this witness be excused.
Wow.
Request for recross, Your Honor.
Okay, but it's very limited to redirect.
What's the question?
Mr. Robinson, you were shown that video, right?
Yes,
Government asked you who that was, right?
yes,
You said anybody other than Hakeem, you'd still be looking at life, right?
yes.
Nothing further.
That was brilliant. That was brilliant. I'll give it to defense on that one. That was really good. Because what I was getting prepared to say as far as the prosecution is concerned is I was going to say that the prosecution did a good job with redirect as far as the video is concerned. They got the father to once again admit for the jury that that is his son. Okay. And the only times we've watched this witness testify through direct, cross, and then cross from the second defendant. Okay. And for the most part, he has been composed, he has been together, he's held it together, with the exception of the two instances when the prosecution asked him to identify the shooter. Okay. We've seen him pause, we've seen him hesitate or almost hesitate, but he positively identified the individual in that video as his son. That was good. What is this? That was good redirect by the prosecution. They also got in the evidence that, it sounds like he had some role where he, managed his son's career to some extent. He probably did have a professional manager. Let me not say a professional manager. He probably had a manager outside his father, but his father had some management roles. So at least that's what I got from redirect. And as much as the cross examination, or at least the technique of Hakeem's lawyer is concerned, a little frustrating, but he was brilliant. Chef's kiss for that recross. That was brilliant. That was really, really good. He got Big Abdul to pretty much admit that he has to testify that that was indeed queso on the video. Otherwise, he'd be looking at life. That was well done. That was, of all the cases that we have watched, that is probably the best recross I've ever seen. That was brilliant. That was top for sure. Chef's kiss. That was really good. That was really, really good. I like that. All right. So let's see. Where do we go from here? How much time do we have? Okay, it's about 10. I can spare another 20 minutes or so. Oh, I watched the sister testify yesterday. Alexa, stop. I watched Hakeem's sister testify yesterday. I don't know that we have enough time to get into that right now. I kind of want to switch to because I won't be live tomorrow. We reconvene on what is it? We reconvene on Tuesday. We reconvene on Tuesday, but it's my understanding that there's a verdict in the Lacey Washington arranged marriage trial. I did not watch the verdict. I don't know what the verdict is, but I've seen there was a video recommended. It said shocking verdict or something along those lines. And then when I went on Reddit after work, I briefly saw two posts, scroll past them because I didn't want to ruin it for myself. But let's see what Core TV has for us. And then as far as next week is concerned, I don't know that there are any other trials that are, I mean, there are always trials. I just do not know which trial we're moving to next because this week, I was pretty much going back and forth between what was that? I've been switching back and forth between a whole bunch of stuff. I was watching something else in Florida. I think Orlando, some NBA player. Let me not say some. I don't remember. An NBA or a former NBA player was shot and killed in Orlando. I watched a bit of that trial. That defendant was convicted. I believe the verdict was delivered yesterday. And I've been bouncing around just a bunch of different trials. I was not really locked into any trial per se. with the exception of what is this? The Lacey Washington trial. It got boring after some time. But let's get into let's get into it. I don't want to see anything.
Maxwell and
All right, I don't want to read.
Please be seated.
Okay.
Juror number 11, are you the presiding juror?
yes, Your Honor.
Could you please provide the materials that you have to the bailiff? I need to first verify that the verdict forms are in the proper format, so that's going to take a moment. The forms are the verdict forms are filled out correctly, and I will now publish them. We, the jury, find the defendant Ihsan Ali not guilty of the crime of attempted murder in the second degree as charged in count 1. We, the jury, having found the defendant not guilty of the crime of assault in the first degree as charged, or being unable to unanimously agree as to that charge, find the defendant Ihsan Ali guilty of the lesser crime of assault in the second degree. Special verdict form. We, the jury, answer the question submitted by the court as follows. Were Ihsan Ali and Fatima Ali members of the same family or household? Answer, yes. We, the jury, find the defendant Ihsan Ali guilty of the crime of unlawful imprisonment as charged in count 3. We, the jury, answer the question submitted by the court as follows. Were Ihsan Ali and Fatima Ali members of the same family or household? Answer, yes. We, the jury, find the defendant Ihsan Ali guilty of the crime of assault in the fourth degree as charged in count 4. We, the jury, find the defendant Zahra Ali not guilty of the crime of attempted murder in the second degree as charged in count 1. We, the jury, find the defendant Zahra Ali not guilty of the crime of assault in the second degree as charged in count 2. We, the jury, find the defendant Zahra Ali not guilty of the crime of unlawful imprisonment as charged in count 3. We, the jury, find the defendant Zahra Ali not guilty of the crime of burglary in the second degree as charged in count 4. We, the jury, find the defendant Zahra Ali guilty of the crime of violation of a court order as charged in count 5. I am now going to poll the jury. And what that means is that I'm
All right. So from the very beginning, I told you guys that the mother had the easier case of the defendants. Okay. She had an easier case. From the testimony, it was not very clear if if she was choking her, strangling her being Fatima. Okay. But that said, I agree with the jury's verdict. in this case. I know there's been at least, I was trying to go through Reddit right now to see what people's thoughts are. I can't get through Reddit fast enough. Um, I would anticipate that some folks might be upset about the verdict in light. Okay, let me put it this way. Some individuals might be upset about the verdict because they have information that the jurors do not have. And that's, this whole arranged marriage motive. Attempted murder, not even just attempted murder, attempt, the crime of attempting to commit a crime. That's a really high burden. The prosecution had to prove that these two individuals, by either choking or strangling their daughter, in fact wanted to end her life. That is an uphill battle. Okay, I would like to think that attempted murder is probably more difficult to prove than the crime of murder itself. We can go in depth in that. And just as I was listening to the verdict, I was thinking about what state was that in. I think it was Nevada. Sometime last year or the year before. There was footage that circulated around of a defendant that lunged at a judge while she was on the bench. Okay. That defendant was charged with attempted murder. I don't remember if he was facing any other charges. In any event, he ended up pleading guilty. I did not agree with that plea. And the reason I did not agree with a plea is because, according to me, there was no evidence that he, in fact, intended to, kill the person that he lunged at. Sure, it's a judge, so obviously people may argue X, Y, and Z. Probably if he went to trial, maybe he gets convicted because maybe I don't know, because the jurors would eventually find out that it was a judge X, Y, and Z. But in that case, if we go back, I just cannot remember the defendant's name. At his sentencing date, he was sentenced sometime, it was late last year. When he was sentenced, he pretty much did not understand. I don't even know that he understood the proceedings to begin with. It sounded like this man had some issues, some mental hygiene issues. Sounded like he had schizophrenia. I don't remember exactly what it is that he was charged with, but the crime of attempted murder, that's a high burden. And in this case, I suppose, not even I suppose, this is why we have protections. This is why we have rules of evidence. Had the jurors been made aware that this, I don't even want to call it chaos, this attack or assault on Ali, no, what's her name? Fatima, stemmed from, I guess, her disobeying her parents and not wanting to be involved in an arranged marriage was the motive, then maybe, not even maybe, the verdict probably would have been guilty. In any event, that's the end of my live stream. I'm going to try and finish editing. I have a video to edit, and I'd like to have that ready for sometime tomorrow. You guys have a fantastic weekend. We reconvene on Tuesday. Over the weekend, I'll figure out which trial we're moving on to next. All right. Good night.